Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer and move to Arsenal. Just before I get into today's transfer news, I've got to just say Kobe Bryant news yesterday was absolutely devastating. I mean, an athlete that transcended the sport that he was in, of course, which was basketball. He was a legend in that, but he was just a legendary sports person. I actually got the privilege to watch him play. One time I was over in New York, and New York Knicks were playing the Lakers, and he was unbelievable. And just like somebody you grow up watching somebody and just admire them. And when I heard the news yesterday, I couldn't believe it. I heard it and I was hoping it wasn't true. I was hoping that, it was just some misinformation or somebody's account had been hacked with this, or it's just absolutely shocking and just shows us that we just got to live our life. 41 he was, unbelievably tragic. Rest in peace going out to Kobe Bryant and his daughter and everybody else who died in a helicopter crash. It's really sad day for sport. Of course, it's back to football for Arsenal today. We've had to wait the whole weekend, watch everybody else play in the FA Cup. It's our big game tonight, taking on Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium in the FA Cup. And I think this is a competition that Mikel Arteta is going to be looking at and saying, I really, really want to win this. He's won it as a player at Arsenal. And I get the feeling he will go with a fairly strong team in the game tonight. It's going to be really interesting to see if he plays Dani Ceballos. Now, we've heard all these rumours about Ceballos, that Ceballos wants to cut his loan deal short and go and join somebody else so that he can play more games ahead of the Euros. There's been a lot of talk linking him with a move to Valencia before the window shuts at the end of the week. So it's going to be really interesting to see if Arteta plays him. Because if he plays him, that would suggest that that move will not happen. If he doesn't play him at all, if he's not even in the squad, then I would suggest that looks like Ceballos could be on his way out before the end of the week. So I'm going to have to keep my eye on that one and see how that develops. Gate's probably going to come too early for Pablo Mari, set to be announced today. We've spoken a lot about him extensively, especially yesterday. The Spanish player who was playing for Flamengo, that Arsenal have signed, centre-back, of course, as I said yesterday, was previously at Manchester City for 3 years between 2016 and 2019, but was out on loan all that time. So Arteta will be familiar with him, and the 6'3" commanding defender is going to come into Arsenal. But as I said, that game tonight probably going to come too soon for Mari, but he is the first signing of a season for Arsenal, or should I say of the January transfer window. And then, of course, there's Mustafi. What is happening with him? There was a lot of talk that he was going to be on his way out. Galatasaray was the club that was spoken about a lot, that were looking to sign Mustafi this transfer window. However, Mikel Arteta has really come out in support of Mustafi. Spoke about, the fact that, yes, he's made mistakes, and he made a big mistake in that last game against Chelsea. But what Arteta was praising was the fact that how he didn't hide after making that mistake. He put his body on the line. He got his blocks in, won his headers, kept on going strong in that game. And he just loved his attitude. And also he said that in training, Mustafi's attitude and application has been absolutely outstanding. And it does look like Mustafi will be staying at Arsenal. And I saw a few fans online sort of getting at Arteta and saying, no, come on, just get rid of this guy, etc., etc. But listen, this is the job sometimes of a coach when he comes in. Remember, Arteta's head coach, get the best out of the players you've got. If he can get a tune out of Mustafi, with the limited amount of budget that we have right now in January, if he can get a tune out of him from now till the end of the season, that's only going to bode well for the team. Mustafi certainly did recover well in that game against Chelsea, and maybe that's earned him a stay at Arsenal. And we're not there every day in, day out of training, but it does look like Mustafi will be staying at Arsenal at least until the end of the season. Who knows what Arteta could get out of him. Now, what about this one? James Rodriguez. This guy, ever since the World Cup when he scored that wonder goal, got snapped up by Real Madrid in a massive transfer, high-profile transfer. Didn't really work out for him. Went to Bayern Munich. He did okay there. Back at Madrid, still not really working out for him. And there's lots of rumours saying that, Real Madrid are willing to sell him. Now, Real Madrid would like to get around about £34 million for him. He's still got about 18 months left on his contract, so still quite a while on that. But Arsenal are said to be interested in James Rodriguez, but only in a loan deal. They'd love to take him on loan from now till the end of the season. They face competition from Everton, who are also interested. Everton, of course, managed by Carlo Ancelotti, who had Rodriguez previously as a manager. But James Rodriguez, has that boat sailed for you? He came with a big fanfare that time after the World Cup. He is a good player, but is he that? I don't know if he's that elite player. I really don't, I just think he's one of those players that's always had a lot of hype surrounding him, but just never, ever really lived up to it. A good player, but, if we took him on loan, it'd be a glamour signing. But again, I look on it, I'm like, we've got CheARS, right? So James Rodriguez, CheARS, is there a lot of difference? It's a real strange one, this one. I mean, I just get the feeling this is more newspaper talk than actually Arsenal. But then who knows? You never know. If a loan deal came up for a player of that quality, could you turn it down? Love to hear what you guys have got to say on it. Especially anybody who watches a lot of La Liga, who watched a lot of the Bundesliga when he was over there on loan with Bayern Munich. I have to say, just has not lit up the place for me. I'm just not 100%, sure that James Rodriguez would come to the Premier League and would be anything fantastic. I just think that we've seen the best of him, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Would it be a good signing for Arsenal, especially on loan this January? Let me know, but there's still lots of rumours about James Rodriguez today, as there is about Thomas Lemar. Now, we spoke about this on yesterday's show, the fact that Arsenal are interested in him, are interested in taking him on loan from now till the end of the season. It's been a horror time for Thomas Lemar at Atletico Madrid. He hasn't scored one goal for them this season. It has just not worked out for him at all there, following his massive move of over 50 million. And remember, Arsenal put in a bid of nearly 90 million for Thomas Lemar, which failed. That famous bid that Arsene Wenger put in, and that failed. That looked like we dodged a massive bullet on that one. But could he come to Arsenal on loan by the end of this week? Remember, the window shuts on Friday. He was left out of Atletico Madrid's squad yesterday to face Legends over there in Spain. And that, again, has fueled the speculation that he's going to be on his way out on loan or even a transfer deal, but more likely on loan before the end of this week. So another one that's quite fascinating, another one that we're going to have to keep our eye on. As I said on yesterday's show, does bringing in a Thomas Lemar block the progress of some of our young stars? Does it block the progress of Saka? I know he's been playing at left back, but really he wants to be playing up the wing, left wing. He wants to be up there. Does it block the progress of Reece Nelson out at the moment of a hamstring injury? But does that block his progress if you bring in a Thomas Lemar? I think it would. So interesting to see how that one's going to develop out before the end of the week. But he is a quality player. He's just having a tough time of things at the moment. Could he come in and do a job for Arsenal? Remember, we've still got lots of football to play before the end of the season. FA Cup, Europa League, the Premier League, trying to get as high up that league as possible, get back into Europe. So it's not like the season's dead yet. So let's see how that one develops. And then Bruno Guimaraes, we was talking about this one now for the past couple of weeks. He's been heavily linked with Arsenal, the defensive midfielder from Brazil, from out to Atletico Paranaense. it looks like that one will not be happening. Leon sort of came in late to the party on this one, and their director of football announcing yesterday that the deal is 95% done for them to get Guimaraes, the defensive midfielder, into Leon. So it looks like that deal is not going to happen to Arsenal. It looks like they're going to be willing to pay the cash that's required to get him done. Arsenal, of course, I think wanted to bring him in on loan. That's the thing. We want pure loan deals this month. I think that's got a lot to do with our spending and FFP and the fact that we're not really moving. We're not really sold nobody to be able to then say we're going to go and buy some of these players. And maybe it's a case of Arsenal keeping their powder dry until the summer. So those are the rumours for today. As I said, not long to go now. The transfer window closes on Friday, the 31st of January. Keep it locked here to AFTV Transfer Daily. We will keep you updated with any transfer news around Arsenal. Thanks for watching the show. We'll be back tomorrow and have a great start to the week.